And I get to have this great honor to award the Capitalize Alumni Impact Award, which is given to an alum of i.c.stars who has made a tremendous impact both in the community and in business. In honor of i.c.stars' celebration of 15 years of Capitalize on Illinois, Comcast Business appropriately is giving this award to an alumni of Cycle 2, Kevin Gates, who's worked at Microsoft for 15 years since graduating. I'm very impressed by your background, by the way, and I'd like to share a little bit of that with you. As a Global Account Technology Strategist with Microsoft in Chicago, Kevin's responsible for helping Microsoft's largest global organizations leverage Microsoft products and services to meet their business objectives, improve their service, and delight their customers. Prior to his current role, Kevin worked in the Microsoft Technology Center, known as the MTC. For 14 years, he transformed from a systems engineer to a data center manager, to an architect, to technical director between the years of 2001 and 2015. Throughout this time at the company, Kevin played a critical role in designing and building the MTC's $10 million infrastructure and developing the technical environment and people that helped drive $100+ million in revenue every year. Pretty amazing. He began his IT career as a web development intern at i.c.stars in 2000. And as I said before, was part of Cycle 2. And he joined Microsoft right after his commencement with i.c.stars. Probably, as impressive as his business accomplishments, maybe more so is the work that he's doing in the community and what Sandy had talked about. He's inspired thousands of Chicago public school students through field trips to the Microsoft office to learn about careers in technology. He sparked the next generation of creators by teaching students how to first identify a problem, create and design and market a product from scratch to solve that problem. He's also mentored so many people with numerous organizations, including the Museum of Science and Industry, Chicago Tech Academy, the Black Data Processing Association, IIT, and Microsoft's, which this sounds kind of cool, I'd like to know about this, the DigiGirls and Imagine Cup programs. Sounds fun. Kevin is also proud and humbled by the recognition he's received over the years. He's been featured in the Chicago Tribune business section. He's been featured on WGN Radio. He's presented alongside of Microsoft's former CEO, Steve Ballmer, and he's received these following awards: the Microsoft Diversity and Inclusion Award in 2011, 50 for Future from the Illinois Technology Association in 2008, the BDPA Epsilon Award for Community Service in 2007, so that giving back and community service keeps ringing through. And lastly, Charter One Community Impact Award in 2006. Kevin, congratulations. Please come up.
Wow. Okay. Thank you, everyone. There's so much to say. One, obviously being very humbled, but two, just today, all the memories of seeing, Sandy, seeing Eric, seeing some of the staff here, but seeing all the interns and seeing their work today truly just gives me so many flashbacks to when I was going through i.c.stars and I was going through those same motions. So I wanted to congratulate all the interns and alum here today. 15 years has been a long time. Who knows when Facebook came around? When? 2006, close. 2004. So i.c.stars was around before people even knew what Facebook was. When we commenced, they gave us all Palm PDAs with green screens. Johnny remembers. Lots of stuff. So I wanted to talk a little bit about myself and then just speak a little bit about transformation. I don't have a lot of time, but I thought I would tell you a little bit about myself. Now, I always wanted to be famous, and I dreamed of someone going online and searching for Kevin Gates and seeing pictures of me. Unfortunately, that's not the case because there's a new rapper out and his name is Kevin Gates. And guys, I can't call anywhere without someone saying, "Did you know there's a rapper named Kevin Gates?" I had a pizza delivered the other day and the guy's coming up the stairs and he's like, "Kevin Gates?" I'm like, "No, not that Kevin Gates." So luckily, I don't have any other Gates to get mixed up with, especially being at Microsoft. There's none of that other stuff ever happens. So this is the true representation of me. That is me and my wife, a beautiful wife, and then my son. I also, just over the years, just been learning so much about the challenges and toils and troubles of learning, crying, all the challenges of dealing with marriage. I'm not the kid. But the 2.5-year-old, he definitely does give me some good challenges. So I first wanted to just talk a little bit about two truths and a lie. Who here has heard about that icebreaker? It's a great icebreaker that you can use. I've even used this in a very small, informal setting with a few folks. Instead of asking like what's your fun fact, you ask someone to make 3 statements about themselves. 2 of them are true, 1 is a lie. So I'll give you 3 statements about myself, and then I'm going to tell you a little bit about my background. So one statement is that I started working at Microsoft at the age of 20. The other statement is that I am a Lego champion from the 7th grade. And the other is that, why do I have to look down for this? I am a high school dropout. So I will now tell you guys a little bit about myself. My transformation started when I was a little kid playing with Legos. You can all probably remember having Legos and getting different boxes and sets over the years, and after a while you just end up with a giant bin of Legos. Giant bin. And my favorite thing used to be to go downstairs Saturday morning, dump out the bin, and just create whatever it is that I wanted. When I stumbled across HTML and web development through i.c.stars, I really felt like I hit a gold mine. And that was because I felt like development was the modern day Legos. It's part of my attraction to technology today, because I feel like you can take all these little components and put them together to make something truly great. So over the years, I went to Lincoln Park High School. I dropped out of Lincoln Park High School, went to Prologue High School, graduated from there, did some cooking, worked at the House of Blues for a little bit of time, and around that time I learned about i.c.stars, and I bought a book. I learned through i.c.stars how I learned best. I bought a book on HTML, and I was reading that book between making orders while I was at the House of Blues. Built a website for my high school, took it with my application on a floppy disk to i.c.stars, and nevertheless I got into the program. i.c.stars has truly changed my life, from my family to my car to the house that I own, to my perception and image in the world. It's truly changed up and down. But what I really want to highlight is the time that you see under those 2 logos there. i.c.stars being where I spent 4 months of time, but that has impacted and given me 15 years at Microsoft. And I'm truly just grateful for i.c.stars for that. Transformation does not stop once you reach where your initial goal. And so much like throughout the intro, a number of roles that I've had at Microsoft where I've continued to transform, learn. And really my mantra as a person is learn, master, teach. I've always been eager and hungry to learn, driven to master things, and then always a strong desire to want to teach and educate other people. And those are some pieces of advice I would give to the alumni and the interns here today. So I thought I would just share a couple transformational observations that I've seen, and these are random thoughts but I think they all relate to transformation. One is starting with yourself, and that's down at the bottom on personal level. I used to always love just thinking of myself as an application. I think it's kind of fun if you guys thought of that yourselves. You know, in the sense of an application, what version are you? And it's not necessarily your age, that might be an easy one, but in the spirit of New Year's, right, a lot of times people make a New Year's resolution and they feel that's their time to change and implement something new. But I never really was a fan of New Year's resolution because I felt like you should always be able to change when you learn something new at that time. So what version are you? How often have you reinvented yourself or patched a problem or a bad habit that you had, and now you can move on and reinvent yourself? But the other thing is we all need to be a little more agile, much like the industries that we're serving today. i.c.stars changes lives. I think I'm a great example, and some of the other folks here in the room are great examples of that too. But we also heard great examples of how i.c.stars has changed with the market and the times so that they can keep the people that they're putting out on the forefront of technology. That's something I really respect. Microsoft ourselves has made a lot of transformations over the years. We've gone from being a command line organization, command line, to a cloud company. We've gone from 3 monolithic years of building a product in an oven and then releasing it, which turned out to be very slow. And we've gone from being a company where things only worked on a Microsoft platform, Windows device, to a company where sometimes the things we release now are on everything but a Microsoft device. Truly transformational in the way that a large organization has done that. And then the other piece is, you know, sometimes there's too much transformation. Have you ever felt you've gone too far, kind of down a path? And so for me, there are signs around when there might be too much transformation. Anyone heard the rumors of the iPhone 7 not having a headphone jack? Some people are scared. They're like, what am I going to do? I think the other indicator is your own happiness. And these are things that I have to evaluate now as I've been at Microsoft for 15 years. Am I truly doing what I'm happy about? And then you probably heard about Tay, the artificial intelligence bot that we put on Twitter, right? I'd love to make jokes about that, but that's an example of how sometimes things might be too early for the general population to consume at mass. And so the last little thing I'll talk about is just perspective and speed. This is a video that I took while I was heading to New Mexico, and it's a time lapse of a plane getting ready to board. Sorry, I didn't know United was going to be here today. I probably should have looked at the agenda. No, Sandy always told me to know your audience, and I didn't do that today. But this just shows you over this 30-second clip all the people and teams and things that happen to make something work for us. I think it's a testament to team building. I think it's a testament to looking at things holistically and looking at the big picture. But also the fact that when you speed something up like that, it gives you a ton of perspective of, wow, there really is truly a lot of things that are happening. Last thing I want to say is, you know, you've seen a couple of pictures of kids in here. Oops. You've seen a couple pictures of kids in here. This is my niece, and when we were in New Mexico, she put on this little Superwoman dress, and she was completely transformed. I mean, you couldn't tell her she was not Superwoman. And the thing I think we can all take away from kids is that they have the ability of taking a great idea or even a single article of clothing and transforming themselves, their whole state of being, their whole mindset. And so the question I have is, how can we be more like kids? What is your next great idea going to be? Thank you, everyone.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back to the stage, Graham Waller.
Wow.
That's a tough act to follow.
Absolutely. I was thinking that myself. I don't know how I follow Kevin, Sandy, Eric. It's truly inspirational, and I feel humbled just to stand on this stage. So let's just congratulate Kevin, Sandy, Eric, and all of them who are on that.